Yes, many Asian Americans are concentrated in fields in which they are highly endangered by criminal activity. For instance, the Chinese Americans are highly concentrated in the massage business, and many of these workers are sex workers, and many of them are illegal immigrants. So you can imagine how many times they have been, they tend to be assaulted, and they cannot or will not report the crime. We have so many Asian convenience store and bodega workers and bodega owners. The proverbial Korean store owner, so to speak. But you have also Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Vietnamese, and so on and so forth involved in convenience stores. And they are shot at a very disturbing rate to death. In other businesses like taxi drivers and other small businesses, Asian Americans are highly concentrated in large part, in some part because of affirmative action. They're forced into becoming owners of their own businesses rather than working for other companies wherein they are discriminated against and they can't get a job. So they work in these stores and they get shot at high rates. So it was good to hear Joe Biden's come out and support the idea that police officers are actually, for the most part, decent, honorable people. Some of those are his words, actually, because Asians need somebody, some people out there, some police force out there, to give pause to the next person who decides to make a small name for himself by shooting up a convenience store clerk and killing him, just like 11 were killed in Houston in a 6-month period not that long ago. This used to be a major issue amongst Asian Americans, but we don't really bring it up anymore, I think because it's rather impolite to talk about crime. So Joe Biden, of course, was a member of the Democratic Party when, in the 1990s, the Democratic Party increased prison sentences, expanded the prison industrial complex, and put something like 100,000 more police on the street. So it is encouraging that he has this history, but more recently, of course, he and especially Kamala Harris have come out in sort of complicit support of the riots, especially Kamala, who basically egged the rioters on to some degree. So this is encouraging from Mr. Biden, and I was planning on voting for him long ago. I think in the 2016 election, I wanted a Biden-Harris ticket, but my mind changed when I realized how many people Obama and Biden were slaughtering in Syria, innocent civilians who they were just bombing to death because of fear of terrorism in the United States. Well, that's obviously a stupid idea to go killing people who you don't want to kill us, because there will be other people, extremists, who will. You can't really acquiesce in that fashion. There are political forces that want you to actually participate in a war. And this is the situation in the United States, wherein there are some factions, a relatively small minority of people who want the police and other governmental entities to participate in an ongoing civil action in which people are arrested and buildings are set on fire and so on and so forth. I think Biden, if you look at his history, he's not that interested in participating in such a civil war, so to speak. But I wouldn't trust Kamala Harris with my pet cricket. She would certainly use it for political gain. That said, I don't know if Biden is going to be better or worse regarding affirmative action. Probably worse, since he and Obama instituted just the most egregious. They were presiding over the most egregious programs in which Asian Americans were just very much restricted from going to college as a result. There's one thing. It's one thing to say, Asian Americans have to score 101 on the test, and white people only have to score 90. But it's another thing to say Asian Americans have to score 110. That essentially makes it impossible for so many Asian Americans to, not all of us have like all our time available to study, and none of us want to. So, Mr. Biden, please consider us as human beings, and maybe I'll vote for you. Thanks.